You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio, man. We are here once again, and today, man, we have a true honor. We're going to be talking about Inside the Black Box Season 2. It's now streaming on Crackle. First and foremost, we have our special guest, the one and only Joe Morton, and the one and only Tracey Moore. We had them on before. It's a great morning to have y'all back on the show. How y'all doing today?
Doing well. Glad to be here.
Yes.
So I'll start with you, Tracey. When you look back at this platform and how it's grown, what's some of the things that kind of excite you about this season?
Well, what excites me are our guests, because I feel like, and I felt this way with season 1, that we have put together 10 dynamic episodes with 20 amazing guests who have come on our show and just really allowed themselves to share their stories, share their personal journeys. And what this season, we had more of our guests interact in acting exercises with our actors. So that was phenomenal to watch. And, sometimes, and I deal with actors all the time and celebrity actors. It's so refreshing when you can see a celebrity actor just take off, the veil and just say, who cares? It just plays, and makes themselves human to our aspiring and working actors who are in the audience. And the other thing that was exciting was the actors, which have a platform to showcase their talent, have had opportunities of auditioning for more projects, or they've been cast based on our show. Or they've gotten agents, managers, producers, all types of creative people in the industry are now tapping into Inside the Black Box as now a casting tool, and so I think that that's wonderful. And then I feel like Joe and our relationship, I watched the season 2 the other day, and I get so lost in us sometimes that I forget that we're the co-host.
Right.
And we just become a part of, the experience. And it's real. I love that Joe was doing these little, different characters during our Inside the Black Box, and I love the fact that it caught me off guard. So I just played in with him, whatever it was. So we are having fun talking about some really difficult experiences and challenges that continue for people of color in this industry. And we want to bring awareness, and we want to focus on solutions, because as people of color, we know the problems that exist. That's not new to us, but exposing it to the world is new. And that's exciting.
Exposing it to the world in a way that is creative and that is positive, and so it's not a diatribe. It's not sort of people yelling at the screen about how terrible things are. It really is about telling a story, and then just understanding sort of what that story means. Because we're looking at, if you're looking at Jeffrey Wright or Wendell Pierce, the story is positive. Wendell Pierce is the first Black actor to do Willie Loman on Broadway. So that's a positive story, no matter what, despite, I should say, all that he might have gone through to get there. He got there. And that's part of what we're trying to do with this show, is talk to them about dreams are important, but dreams have to be supported with really hard work. And hard work has to be supported by training. And training has to be supported by sort of very clear vision in terms of who you are, where you're going, and what you want. And those kinds of things are bespoken over and over and over on the show Inside the Black Box, because it's important. And what we're trying to give to these young students is an opportunity to let them see, I'm not alone in this feeling, and it can be overcome.
Mm-hmm. We're talking to Tracey Moore and Joe Morton this morning, and we're discussing the Inside the Black Box. You can see it on Crackle. And Joe, real quick, this also, you and Tracey, you have A-list celebrities, guests that you are helping with this platform as well to kind of illustrate the importance of the role. With season 2, I know you can't spill the beans too much, but what do you hope the audience can appreciate with season 2 with the special guests you have coming?
I mean, again, it's really not that different than season 1 in that the guests that are coming on season 2. I think this year there was a lot of kind of testimonials to faith and a lot of testimonials to perseverance, a lot of testimonials to making lemonade out of lemons. I mean, I think a lot of that is what we got this season, which was just amazing and terrific. To have Condola Rashad talk about, get out there and put your feet in the grass. That's an important thing for your mental health, to be in nature. To have Tobias talk about, the fact that things will happen and that they can be sort of chip away at your confidence, but you can overcome. Here's a young man, who at some point wrote, directed, and produced a movie that hardly anybody saw, but it didn't matter. He did it. He did it, and it was important to him. And I think it's those kinds of things. To hear Jeffrey Wright talk about the number of people that he lost, during the time that he was doing Angels in America, and he lost these people to AIDS and HIV. And watch the actor himself break down while he's telling the story that he said he'd never told before. Those kinds of things happen on the show because people feel safe, because they feel it's important for the audience, both the ones sitting in their living rooms and the ones sitting in the studio, to understand.
And for you, Tracey, when you are helping Joe with these conversations with these A-list celebrities, it is the process of the individual's development to the road to success. So when it comes to that process of being in that space where you can have a platform to give back to people or coming up behind you, how important is for them to continue to tell their story?
I think it's extremely important for them to tell their story because it's a part of their history and it's a part of our history. And I also feel that we learn from others. And when I started out in this business as a casting director, there are no casting director schools to learn from, or, it's really about mentorship and internship. However, I used to read biographies of successful people, and I continue all the time, because every successful person, regardless whether it's the entertainment business or the medical field, when you read people's history, they've gone through challenges, they've gone through failure. They've been told no, but they continue on. And it's that thing inside of actors, because this is my world, that actors are a strange breed of people because they run on something different. They see before it's seen, and they believe. Most people need to see before they believe. So there's a passion, there's a love, there's a desire, there's something in pursuing this business that, regardless of what our guests in the beginning of their careers had to endure, they continued on this journey, and that's why they are where they are. And so that becomes an example. That becomes a story for me as an aspiring actor. Every time, I feel low, I'm going to reference Kalita Smith, who didn't have a decent car at the final callback of Bernie Mac's show. So, and that's what it is. We want to empower, encourage, inspire, and this is for our next generation.
Well, you can follow,
because they're all standing on Joe's shoulders.
Well, you can follow Crackle on Twitter, at Crackle on Twitter, and you can watch this Inside the Black Box right there on Crackle. We are talking to the one and only Tracey Moore and Joe Morton. Thank you guys for taking time in your busy schedule to talk to us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.